DI was an active impediment to the project of building a multiracial working class movement capable of taking on a corporate and oligarch power. Rufo did the left a favor in nuking it. Now, I understand where Ryan Grimm is coming from. Okay. But the reality of the matter is that Christopher Rufo lasering in on this like otherwise aesthetic initiative to try to make workplaces more diverse or more tolerant or more understanding or whatever the fuck. That wasn't actually done at the behest of like abolishing the identity standards in an effort to create class standards in its wake. No, he just used it doesn't have to be DEI. It could be anything else. It was just a representation. It was a representation of liberal politics in general. Okay? Noah says, I personally don't think Rufo did the left a favor by helping eliminate affirmative action under the guise of anti-corporate activism. What even is DEI? This is a rhetorical question. It's been evacuated of all meaning because its primary context, corporate workplaces doing the work of civil rights enforcement that the government neglects, isn't really in the hands of the groups or blue hairs. Like, yeah, it's cringe. It's vacuous, if you can even define what it is, but it's not leftist overreach, and it's always been a certain kind of test to me to see if you fall for what hucksters like Rufo sell. And that's my point as well. I 100% agree with Noah here. Okay? It's just another more appropriate way of saying the N-word. Most American politics on the right is just vice signaling. All of it is vice signaling. And most of it revolves around just saying fuck black people. Fuck women. You know, fuck Latino people. Whatever, you know? And that's all this is. That's all this is. The elimination of DEI, okay, is basically just, it's not like taking out some sort of legal standard because no such thing exists. It's simply the elimination of companies that don't even necessarily follow these protocols thoroughly, right? Or affirmative action in general, that simply want to say that they're doing something quote unquote woke for marketing purposes. Those companies must be punished. It's the same reason why I always say it's better to not exist. Like I've talked about this before with Target, right? Target doing like all of the you know, LGBT focused merchandise is silly, right? They do it to hawk product for 1 month. And it's better if they never do that, right? Than to do that and then somehow cave and capitulate to the right when they yell about it and remove those products like they've done something wrong. It's literally better if it never existed. If Target never actually did Pride merch. It would be better if they had never done Pride merch, because the only reason why you're doing Pride merch is not because you genuinely hold this political opinion and you want to help people, but you're doing it to cynically sell product to people and also pat yourself on the fucking back. And at the moment of first targeted hostility, you immediately show your belly and go, oh, I'm so sorry, you're right, fuck these people. That gives them more authority. That also makes it seem like you got caught doing something wrong. Okay? It's infinitely worse for LGBT people to just like do this silly aesthetic thing only to take it away after the Republicans claim that that's actually pedophile shit. Now you're basically admitting that it's pedophile shit. Now you're just saying that. It's not, but it doesn't matter. And it's endlessly frustrating to me. There's a difference between, for example, Target doing that versus Ben & Jerry's. Okay? It is obvious that Ben & Jerry's is run by two people that have a political opinion, a genuine one. And they are willing to even lose revenue to defend said political opinion. Okay? They're not doing that because they want to market the product. They're doing that because that's what they believe. Right? So that's the difference. And while Ben and Jerry's is run by Unilever, okay, I know what you're going to put this out there to be like, oh, dude, they're still doing it for marketing. You're a fucking moron, because no one, regardless of what mega conglomerate owns their company, is going to actively try to abide by BDS standards when they're run by a mega conglomerate, and it actually causes that mega conglomerate to have massive amounts of legal trouble as a consequence of this. That's it. And now you will once again see the reality. If you were even for a brief moment, yeah, Ben & Jerry's is also suing Unilever, and you're over here being like, oh, they're run by Unilever. Shut up. They are a great example of a company that does actually care about the politics that it's representing. And that's why in certain instances, their politics might even come across as radical. Their politics certainly causes them to lose out on revenue, as a matter of fact. Now, what you have to understand is that that's fine. That's okay. Some companies can do that, and that's fine, and that's a good thing, right? But the reason why I think this kind of stuff is awful in general is because it gives easy ammunition, because the company's heart is not in it to begin with. Out of all of the corporations, the mega corporations that genuflected to the incoming Trump administration, the only one that said, yeah, we're not touching this DEI stuff, I don't care, shut up, was Tim Apple, okay? Because he's gay. And he was like, yeah, I don't care what Trump has to say about DEI shit. Like, that's well within our rights, and we're just going to keep it. And is it partially because of marketing? Yes. But it obviously also means that, like, they see DEI in that vein to not necessarily be a bad initiative, but a good one. Okay? It's so stupid when companies do this specifically for marketing. Companies that, who is going to agree with Ryan's tweet? Who is it for? Just barking into the void? I don't know. Maybe like some anti-DEI leftists or something. I don't know. The reason why some of these other companies like Goldman Sachs or JP Morgan maintain their DEI initiatives also is not because they want to, quote unquote, resist against Donald Trump or because they think it's good marketing. It's because diversity, equity, and inequality initiatives, or inequality, inclusion initiatives are good. Okay? I don't know what those standards turn into for inclusion, sorry. Like, but I don't know what those standards turn into for all these other companies. But the reality of the matter is, for many of these corporations, it's good to have a diverse board of representatives, okay? A lot of the DEI is silly, and it's just a way for the HR teams to engage in busy work. But at the end of the day, making sure that your work standard, or making sure that your hiring practices don't immediately overlook like black or brown people, is probably beneficial for these companies, so they're keeping it.